Hello, beautiful sisters. Welcome back to the Women's Summer Bible Study. I hope you all enjoyed a refreshing break. Now, let's settle back into a peaceful, relaxing summer setting as we wrap up together chapters 3 and 4 together. Remember, everyone is welcomed. Come as you are. Let's grow in faith, friendship, and joy this season. We are going to be heading into week 3 of the Bible study. So, welcome. And if you'd like to join, go grab your study over on Amazon.
Hi, welcome to Water for My Soul. We are actually starting week 3 and we'll be moving right into week 3 and week 4. No worries if you haven't done week 1 and week 2, you can still find those videos here on the YouTube channel for HB Women's Ministry and Heather Baxter. You can go back and look at the YouTube videos that were put up for the previous teachings. Water for My Soul. And I hope that you have just been enjoying this and that it's been a blessing. I've been going over the beginning in here for Psalm 100. So I hope that you have had time to read that a few times. So it says, "Let the whole earth shout triumphantly to the Lord. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful song. Acknowledge that the Lord is good. He made us and we are his people, the sheep of his pasture." And in that we can abide, right? Enter his gates with thanksgiving. So do you ever just picture yourself just walking through a gate when you're going to pray and just talk to God about everything in your life? I just picture myself walking through a gate with just a heart full of thanksgiving for everything that he is in my life, his character. He shows us over and over and over his goodness. Enter his courts with praise, right? So that to me is our hands and our feet and our voices, that we can just say out loud all the things about God that we are so thankful for and that we truly love him for being our Heavenly Father. Give thanks to him and bless his name affectionately. So the word affectionately, I have that circled down here because in one of the first weeks, we had a Bible verse that had the word affectionately in it. And when you look it up, it says to look with fondness, to speak with kindness, and to act in a loving manner with hands and hugs. So I liked that it was with action, with motion, right? So to bless his name affectionately. So when you think about that, when you think about how do I bless God, well, you can affectionately. So through your loving words that you say when you talk to him, through using your hands, through getting your body involved when you're listening to praise and worship music, right? Walk around the house, march around the house, clap with joy, all of that. Sing. The Lord is good. His faithful love endures forever. His faithfulness through all generations. Psalm 100. Some different places that you can connect with the ministry, or that you're subscribed to Pastor Heather's newsletter. So you can do that at heatherbaxter.com. So you can sign up for her newsletter there. You can connect on YouTube channel, which is maybe where you're at right now. So that is Heather Baxter's or HB Women's Faith Community. Then she does go live on there every Friday at noon. So on Wednesdays, Heather has a podcast called The Beautiful Messy Show. And then also we have a free Facebook group. Pastor Heather's group is HB Women's Ministry. And in there, you'll find Pastor Heather, Heather Baxter, you'll find myself, and you'll find just a great community of wonderful women. So make sure that you're connecting in there as well. Each week, we have talked about ways to water my soul. So in here is a list of all different things that you can do to water your soul. And then you can take these things, you can put them in your planner so you can remember to do them. If you're part of the Dream and Thrive Journal, you can record them in there. Maybe they fit in your spiritual section. Maybe they fit in your physical well-being, or maybe they fit in your home and spaces, or maybe your mental health. So wherever they fit, go ahead and record those in there and record what kind of joy that those things brought you. So some of the things I've been doing recently is I made a salad with lots of mixed vegetables that was just delicious. I actually bought myself some flowers. Past weekend, we visited a couple local parks. They had some music going on, and that was just a lot of fun to go there. I've walked by a lake. I've listened to the birds. Actually started kind of making a list of all the different birds that I've been seeing. We've seen doves and cardinals, lots of sparrows, which I love because that's one of our Bible verses is about how God's eye is always on the sparrow. The robins, the hummingbirds, just so much creation this time of year. I just love all the green and the trees and listening to just water moving. I watched a sunrise. So those are some of the things that that I did this past weekend. So I'd love to know what you have been doing, maybe even added a few things that you know that you're doing that just really water your soul. And then each week we have 2 songs. Make sure you check that list out too. We have a playlist put together in our group that makes it really easy to find the songs. So this week we are starting week 3, and it is Sitting Beside Quiet Waters is our main theme. So our song is It Is Well With My Soul. And I chose these artists because you may not have heard this version before. So I just really like their harmony. And then the other one is Psalm 23, I Am Not Alone by Wind and Embers. Wind and Embers is actually the name of our praise and worship team at the church I go to. And you'll see in this video, Sarah Reifokel was our pastor's daughter. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple years ago at a very young age. But her voice, she just brings you into worship. So I hope that you'll take time to watch it on YouTube so that you can see her and just experience it. So that's one of my favorite songs. Week 3 starts, part 3, Quiet Waters. We have a page that we look at each day when we come to spend our time in the Word. So it starts with a simple prayer. So the prayer is printed out there for you. And then also it has 5 ways to water my soul. So go ahead and pick things from that list that you're going to experience this. Maybe you're going to repeat something because it brought you so much joy. Go ahead and write those down. And then you're going to listen to the 2 new worship songs for the week. And you can just let that play in the background as you're writing out and praying to God. So each day we're going to picture ourselves sitting on the rock, which is on the cover. After you've written what you talked to God about, we're going to close our book and we're going to journey to the rock on the cover. And we're just going to sit and talk to God. So I hope that you are finding that when we gather together and we're sitting here on this rock by the quiet waters, that it just brings you so much peace and so much joy. Today, you're going to have a mini theme. So take a minute and go through and read all of the mini themes for the week. They're right here under the main theme. So this one is God Restores My Soul. So we would go through and we would look at each one of these. So the next one is Our Living Water and Spring Welling Up. So take a minute to go through and read all 5 of those for the week. So you have space to write down notes from the podcast that comes out on a Wednesday, as well as sermon notes. It's always really interesting. You'll have confirmations and things that will come through more than once. You might find something through one of the praise and worship songs that God's getting you to notice, or maybe through something that Pastor Heather talks about on the Beautiful Messy Show, or something that you learn on Sunday in your sermon, or maybe in your small group. Something will come up if you're being open to that and ask God to show you where he's leading you and really take notes of those things, because it's really fun sometimes to be like, wow, I've heard that now a couple times this week. You should probably pay attention. Start on week 3. And I know that you're just going to be blessed as we go through these last 2 weeks, which takes us almost to the end of July. So we are on part 3, the quiet waters. So on this page where you can start the week, you can look at this every single day. We're going to start up here with the prayer for each day. I picked out the 5 things I want to do to water my soul for this week. I think we'll go out for some barbecue. I think we're going to play a board game. It might rain a little bit this weekend. I'm going to relax and put on an eye mask, and I'm going to read 30 minutes a day. I have been reading in a couple books. If you watched my video that I put in our mentorship group, you saw that I'm kind of going through and reading this How to Listen, Hear, and Validate. I'm trying to improve my communication skills. And then I also have the Well-Watered Woman book, which I have been just really slowly going through this. So this was a gift from my daughter. And then I'm going to listen to the praise and worship songs for the week. So let's go ahead and turn over to day 1, which will be on Monday. So our main theme is our quiet waters. Our mini theme today is God restores my soul. So I'm going to take a minute to go through and read all of the mini themes in here. So this one is our living water, a spring welling up. I'm going to read all of these. And on this day, I just might go to an artesian well. I'm going to add that, I think, to my list over here and go and do that this week. Let's see. I think so. We have an artesian well that's not too far from us, and go and get some really fresh water. So I think we're gonna do that. All right. So over here, our Bible verse is Psalm 23:2. It says, "Lord, you lead, feed, guide, and shield me." So I would go ahead and look that up in my Bible. So we need Psalms 23:2. Let's see. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still and restful waters. And I can also look up Revelation 7:17. So I would go ahead and write those out in here. And then every day I go and read the Psalm 100 in the beginning as well. And then I will read the devotional and come over here and, like I said, write down the Revelation verse, look that up, see what observations I am, how it's applicable. I like to take the things that are applicable and record them in our Dream and Thrive journal, and then take some time to pray. And when I pray, I'm going to close my book and go sit on the rock. And then we'll see if I have more reflection to write. I have these 2 beautiful pages to go and add more in. And in here it says, the Spirit of God contains an endless supply of provision, protection, possibilities, new paths, renewed purpose and power. Invite God to restore you today. So really think about, where in your life do you feel that you need more provision? Maybe there's some things happening in your financial situation that you need God to show up more. Maybe there's something that you're in need of purchasing that you don't necessarily have the funds for, that you need to see God's provision more. Maybe there's areas that you want to be able to give more. And in order to do that, you need to have more coming in. Maybe there's just ways that you can use what God has given you in better ways. So maybe there's ways that you can buy things at the grocery store that are on sale, and that might save you $10, $15. How are you being a good steward of what God has given you? And then your protection, right? Always pray that God protects you and your family. Possibilities. Oh, I just love to ask God for fresh ideas. So when you think about your life wheel and different areas of your life, different things that you have going on, whether it's in relationships, things at your work, where do you need new possibilities, new opportunities, fresh ideas? Talk to God about all of that. New paths. Maybe there is some part of your life that you're looking at changing into something different. Like, one of the things I've really prayed for this year is that God would give me a closer tribe of women. I want those really close friends where iron sharpens iron, and where you can just call them up and you have things in common because you have a common belief system. So that's one of the new paths that God's been really taking me on. And the way he's done that is by giving me opportunities to be involved with a different women's ministry, a book club where we're going through a Christian book together. And it's just been fantastic. I've grown so much spiritually. Renewed purpose. Maybe there's something that you want to do different in your life. Maybe you're looking at your new season. Maybe your kids are going off to college, or maybe your kids are going to kindergarten for the first time, or maybe you're an empty nester. Where do you need to have renewed purpose and power? So just really invite God in to restore you today. Invite God in to every single area of your life. Remember to surrender it to Him, cast all your cares upon Him, and then just enjoy sitting by the quiet waters talking to God.
Messy stressing in the morning, I gotta keep up with life. Got no regrets, I count my blessings, but I'm still getting no sleep at night. Getting out of the house, I heard an eagle in the top of a tree. I had to listen, I got a feeling it was saying something to me. I'm calling my father, telling him all the things, the bangs and the crashes on the way to my dreams. Although I'm a mother, I could need some advice, a little pat on the shoulder for that long bumpy ride. Always going forward, and no one is stopping me. I keep on running from my failures, my doubts and miseries. Everything is as it should, but when then will there be light? I feel like I'm dreaming of symphonies, but I'll keep writing lullabies